working in the mining space for 15 plus years across various states like the Northern Territory and Queensland, you obviously would have been to lots of remote communities. You would have been well and truly off the beaten track. And let us into what that looks like in the early days of a tenement. What sort of places you're going to, some of the isolated places that you've been within Australia.
Yeah, look, that's part of the fun of it, like trailblazing your own sort of paths into the bush. And you really feel like, one of those old-timer Alaska gold miners that had to traverse through the Yukon to go and find nuggets, dealing with snow. We're not dealing with snow, but we're, dealing with vast heat and a lot of flies and everything else. But look, that's all part of the fun of it, is trailblazing your own path and going out to bushes or places where people have never seen before, and going out there to bang rocks and look for minerals. And it's quite an interesting predicament. Being from Sydney and that, you would think that, sit behind a desk and type away and do your 8 hours of work. But look, I'm not like that at all. I can't live like that. So getting out in the bush is really exciting for me, but like, it's not for a lot of people. One of the hardest times I remember was going to Mount Doreen for the first time in 2017 or 18, and there was a huge drought. I think they had 1 millimeter of rain over 2 years, and it was the first time going to Mount Doreen. It's a big station, hundreds of cattle, and I would be trailblazing in the car, driving up beaten paths, and I'd have cows running after me, and they looked gaunt. There was no fat on them at all. You could see it in their eyes. They're like, just give me some food or water. So look, it's not for everybody. It's really tough. But if you stick it out and you know how to deal with the bush, you know what to expect, and you can sort of, get through it. Another interesting part to all of this is the communities that you meet. The Mount Doreen project in Northern Territory, which Litchfield Mineral Zone, that's right next door to the Wendimu Aboriginal community. It's a town. Really beautiful town. A lot of famous people have come out of there. There's a lot of brilliant artists that come out of there, and look, we try and do what we can to support the community, because you go into that town and it really opens your eyes, because we're lucky enough to come from Sydney. We're born in the city, and we have all the amenities we need at our fingertips. Those guys aren't lucky like we are. So that really opens your eyes and shows you what the Australian bush is about, and actually shows you what the original Australian people are about. And look, we do what we can to support them. We try and buy as much artwork as we can every time we go up, just because we like to see that some money get back into those communities. So it's not for the faint-hearted. It is tough. It's not as glamorous as IPOs and the stock market make it. A lot of hard work, a lot of failures, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of rough sleeping, a lot of rough conditions. So as I say, it's not for everybody, but it's definitely something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, and with some of these remote communities you cross paths with, is it possible to employ or give people from the community jobs on the mine site, or is it some of the jobs are specialists, some of the non-specialist roles, is it possible to
yeah definitely is. Look, some people do it better than others. There's some people in the Northern Territory up near Jabluka and stuff. They've got big mining engineer companies that do all the earth moving and excavation. They own all the equipment, but they're owned by the local Aboriginals, and they employ their own to do it, and they do a fantastic job. Some of the more specialist stuff, especially in the Territory, you can't get them to operate, because some of them don't have the skill set. Some do, of course. But yeah, you can definitely get them involved in the process, in the cultural aspects, and bring some money back to the communities and help them by getting them involved, because you don't want to go in there and just pillage the areas. You want to ensure that you're doing it correctly, and you want to ensure that you're paying respect to stuff that happened in our areas probably 50,000 years ago, and we need to respect it. We might not be able to see it, but it does exist. And we need to respect that and understand that, to ensure that we're doing right by not only the station owner, who are the farmers, but also the local Aboriginal communities that have been there for thousands of years.